Okay, we're going.
We are live.
We are live? Nice. It shifted me back over to Facebook. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let us know where you're from. Tell us hello. Let us know that you're watching. Also, in the comments, let us know what kind of childcare center. Are you a home-based center? Do you have a church-based childcare center? How many kids are you licensed for? Give us details and what state are you in?
I'm always some emojis. Let us know you're here.
Absolutely. Even if you're on the replay, we love the interaction. We love to see that you're getting something out of all of this that we're doing for you today. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Evelyn Knight. I am the founder and CEO of Childcare Business Professionals, which is a company that helps childcare owners and directors learn how to automate their systems, just discover that they can be profitable and have a successful, high quality childcare center. I'm also the host of the Childcare Business Coach podcast, which focuses on helping childcare owners also with just support. A lot of times I work on our mental health, and I also work on business strategy. I'm also a childcare center owner. Just like you guys, I'm in the trenches. I was at my center earlier today. Today's payroll, so I had to go do my payroll. So I know what it's like to be in the center every single day. And I've actually owned I have worked every position probably at a childcare center. I think the only thing I haven't done has been a janitor. So
you've done those tasks.
Yeah, well, exactly. Sometimes I used to do the janitorial stuff, but I never was officially a janitor. But I've been a cook, I've been a van driver. I know what it's like. And I'm joined with Cristina Richmond from TLG Financial Foundation. And Cristina, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I am Cristina Richmond, Vice President of TLG Financial Foundation. We are the founders of the Small Biz Financial Coach, as well as the creators of the Rainmaker Process, a 6-phase system that helps business owners create cash flow for themselves and their businesses. So we've niched down to childcare. We love the early childhood education industry. And during COVID, as we were hearing that childcare centers were closing down and not being able to reopen, we just it pulled on our heartstrings, and we kind of pivoted and focused more on childcare. So that's why we have teamed up with Evelyn to help childcare centers pull through this COVID without having to shut their doors.
Yes. And just so you guys know, I am monitoring this on my phone. So in Zoom, it's hard for us to see the comments, but I am monitoring for your comments. So let us know if you have any questions. I am more than happy to. I'll keep a watch on my phone. So if you guys see me looking away, it's because I am glancing at my phone.
I'm trying to watch too. I think I can see also.
Oh, good. Yes. So we'll try to keep up with you. So just to go over this week's schedule of events again, in case you've missed out, go back and watch the replays. Under the units tab, I have added all of the videos. There's some homework strings that you can just comment and just really get involved in some of the discussions going on in there, and just some other information that pertains to what we're talking about today. I'm just trying to load that unit up with resources. Also, as a reminder, that unit is coming down Tuesday evening. We are pulling it down. And I'll probably pull it down at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is midnight on the East Coast. So just so you guys know, we are going to be taking that down. So make sure if you are behind, binge watch us this weekend, make that a part of your, weekend. I don't know, maybe take a bubble bath and just listen to us talk. Because I'm all about the self-care over the weekend. So make sure you're doing that self-care too. But Monday, we talked about the importance of your vision and mindset and how that is absolutely the foundational piece to make sure that you recession-proof your business. Without being in the right mindset, you're not going to be able to take the other steps that you need. The next thing is branding and your dream team. creating that dream team. And yes, if you have not watched the video, you can have a dream team, even if you're paying minimum wage. We do talk about that and how that is a possibility. Our third video is on financial literacy and why it is so important for you to really get a handle on your finances and to know your financials. One of the things I didn't mention on Wednesday that I think is really important is working with Christine, and Cristina has been wonderful in their company for me. Because one of their major philosophies is that we have to know this stuff. They believe in educating us on how to read our reports, read all of our stuff. And the reason that is so very important, I did have a bookkeeper / accountant once upon a time that did embezzle from me. She was stealing from me and all her clients. And I would have never known because I was just financially illiterate. I had no idea. I just trusted her. So that is just an example of why it's so important to have that financial literacy piece. Then the next video, which was yesterday, is our business structure. You've got to automate your systems. You have to have real policies and procedures, not just an employee handbook, a policy, a process, and a documented procedure for every little thing. That way, each one of your staff always knows what's expected of them. They can just really follow a guideline, and you can actually really help them to keep them accountable. That is how you make sure things are happening. Today, we're talking about quality, why quality is so very important in order to achieve the next level of success in early childhood education and owning or directing a childcare center. High quality standards are just absolutely vital. Tomorrow, Christine Mailer, which is Christina's business partner, will be on with me and a couple of our clients. And we're going to be talking about why this works, why this piece is so very important. On Sunday, we're going to be playing for you guys a replay of the podcast episode that we recorded together. We actually recorded a podcast episode and filmed it. So you guys are going to get to see that whole process, which is kind of fun. It's kind of nice because you'll see the unedited version of what will be on my podcast. So that's going to be fun. On Monday, we're going to have our entire team on. Both of our company's teams are going to be on. So it's a great opportunity if you have, just to see who we are, to really get to know us. And then on Monday, the three, Christine, Cristina, and I will be on answering questions. So the thread is up in the group. If you guys have any questions for us, please go into the units tab and post your questions in the thread. It's basically asking for questions. That way we can answer your questions. We will be taking questions live also, but it's nice for organizational purposes for us to have those questions ahead of time. So let's get started.
All right. So excited to be here today. So as Evelyn had mentioned earlier, today we're talking about quality. Quality is so important in both of our businesses. Evelyn is a quality childcare center, and we're going to get into what that means and some of the how we are a quality accounting firm. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So first of all, how do you know what a high quality childcare center is and what makes it quality?
So I think when you're looking at childcare, it's very important for us to focus on research-based quality. And I can tell you, when I first started, I have several degrees, and I thought I knew what quality was. And I thought my center was very high quality, but I was doing this independently and I wasn't really following any guidelines or any kind of studies. So when I made the shift, I signed up for the QRAS program, which is Nevada's Silver State Stars, which is Nevada's quality rating. Every state has one. They all have different names, but they basically follow the same quality rating. And I realized that I was falling short in many, many ways of following the QRAS, which actually follows the ITRs and the ECRs, which basically NAEYC standards, which are just the foundational pieces in our industry. Really, it was just such a game changer. So to quickly answer your question, it's following that research base. The research has been done. It's been, over and over again, people have monitored this. They have really just checked and these proven systems to make sure that the children are getting what they need in order to succeed in kindergarten.
And something that, just because I've been working with Evelyn for so long, I remember when you started this and you didn't score the stars that you wanted.
Yes.
And you were not happy
I
about
was
being at that level of quality. And I remember you just doing whatever it took to make sure that you had that quality center that was going to get those 5 stars.
Yes. So when our first time around with the QRIS system, we actually scored a 2-star. And I was not a happy owner at all. And what actually ironic, it's a funny story because in our infant room, we went 3 minutes over how long an infant is allowed not to have like interaction. That took us from being able to be a 3 to a 2-star, a 3-minute mistake. So it's kind of interesting, and things have actually changed. They're not that technical anymore, but even still, we would have scored as a 3-star. So after that time, I was just determined. I just basically said, never again. My center is not 2 3-star quality. So our second time around, we actually did score high enough to be a 5-star center, but you have to be NACE accredited to get that 5th star. So we were awarded 4 stars. So that time I said, okay, never again. I'm not going to be a 4-star center. So then we signed up to go through the NACE accreditation in order to get that 5th star.
So let's talk about that. So what were some specific things that you implemented to go from a 2-star to a 5-star center?
So the things that I really focused on, and I'll tell you, as an owner who was financially struggling at one point, this was really hard for me because I was really scared that the changes I had to make would be very, very expensive. And I'm not going to sugarcoat, they can be, right? So the main things that I did was I did start following NACE ratios and group sizes, which meant that, and here's an example of how scary that was. My infant room is licensed for 21 children, right? And when I'm following NACE group size, that means I have to take those 21 and turn it into a room with 8. So we weren't running, when I first bought my center, we were running 21 and the quality was horrible. So we shaved it down to 16, but I'm still looking at, I'm going to take this room from 16 infants to 8. And I just could not even begin to imagine how on earth am I going to be able to do this. So that's just one classroom and one example of the changes that we made. There was a lot more teacher training, and supplies that we had. But so I'm going to actually shift this to you, because when we were going through this, Christine actually was coaching me. I had 2 coaches at the time, and Christine was actually coaching me, and we talked it through, and she really helped me to see that what kind of expenses are okay for quality, when it comes to revenue. So I'm gonna have you explain like when it's okay to spend, on revenue generating type of expenses. Well, I shut my door, that flew open.
Oh, okay. So what Evelyn is talking about is, we've talked a lot in the past about good debt, bad debt, and what is okay to spend money on and what is not. Now, anything that is going to generate revenue, it's a good thing to invest in. It's a good thing to spend money on. If it's going to, we want to get lean on our expenses without jeopardizing our quality. So anything that's going to make your center higher quality, we want to keep in place. We want to that's where we want to spend our money. So if you have a program that you use on the toddlers that help them develop developmentally, or something like that, that is for the children, that's going to help you generate revenue because it makes you stand out from the rest, those are things that we suggest you spend your money on.
Right. And one of the things that you guys did was really helped me find other things to cut. Like you really helped me, like, this is not revenue generating, so let's cut this and focus on this. So you guys really helped me find the money in order to increase that quality. And I mean, you guys actually even helped me go as far as looking at my building. And that was when we decided to change that old reception area. We basically cut my reception area in half and created a classroom there. So that was actually something that your company helped me discover. So when we were taking those 8 children out of the infant room, we basically said, well, let's look at your building. Where can we put them? And found a place to put them. So that's an example of the things that working with you guys and why it's helped me so much financially.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how has implementing high qualities helped your center?
It is just completely turned it around. First of all, I don't have to advertise anymore. Now we're just so well known that word of mouth is what gets us our clients now. And it does take time. I'm not going to, say it doesn't happen overnight, but we're at the point now where people are fighting to get in. And a funny story, I had a tour come in once and I told them about the wait list, and they knew about the wait list. They had gone on it. They'd called. They brought with them $500 cash, and they were trying to give me the cash, telling me, if you put us at the top of this wait list, I'll give you this cash. And it was kind of a cool moment for me, because I just remember thinking, wow, this is amazing. People, I went from struggling with enrollment and having a revolving door where I couldn't keep these kids in here, to now I have this family offering me cash to try and get their child in my center. So that is probably the biggest shift. And just knowing that I'm doing what's best for the children, just knowing that I really did shift to doing what is absolutely best for them. The parents want their child in my center, which is why my wait list is so long now. And just also my teachers, the job is easier, to be honest. When you are constantly chasing behavior issues, biting issues, things like that, those tend to not be nearly as difficult when you have a high quality program. A lot of it is actually eliminated, because it goes back to the theory that you guys have taught me of being proactive instead of reactive. Huge.
Right.
I mean, it really does shift your entire center when you focus on those high quality standards.
So what was that pivotal moment that made you change directions and pivot to the higher quality center? Like what happened at your center that made you pivot that direction?
So what it was I was working with, we had actually quality accountability coach through the QRIS system, and she amazing, one of the best coaches I've ever worked with, and Cristina. So both of them were really telling me, you can't afford not to do this. And that was where, and my coach had worked with an owner who, was really struggling too. So she knew how to approach me, really talk to me. But that coaching, it was the pivotal thing, that if I had not hired your company and I hadn't had June come out to help and not had those coaches, I would have never done it. I would have never seen it. But really just having the coaching in my life, and it really helped me to have that mindset shift and to realize that, I had to do it just in order, if I really wanted to get to the next level, not only financially, but just as a childcare center. And it really also helped me to have the confidence. I wasn't so scared to do it. With the coaches made all the difference in the world.
Right. And that mindset shift that you can't afford not to have a coach is very, that's pivotal in itself, because we talk about, I have 2 coaches, we all have coaches, we all invest in that, in ourselves, in our businesses. And, all of our team members have people that they go to that are their coaches and mentors and people that we rely on to help us make those tough decisions. And and so that's a big mindset piece that just is very important for us to pay attention to.
Yeah, and it was just huge, like just the mindset of without the coaches. And it's one of the reasons I'm so grateful that I have invested and I wasn't scared to spend the money. Another thing too, I realized with me hiring coaches on my own is I'm so glad, because I couldn't afford not to hire the coaches, right? And it's just been so pivotal for me that in order to get to that next level of success is to make that investment in, taking me to the next level. So yeah, it was absolutely
just so everyone knows, everybody looks at Evelyn today and thinks, oh my gosh, she's successful. She's doing all these things. She's such a leader. She's so confident. Like, you look at her today, this is not the Evelyn that I met back in 2013. This is absolutely the opposite of what I met. And I've even told, we have some mutual clients. I've even said, if you look at Evelyn, look where look at what she has created. This is amazing. And she started off far below where you're at right now. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
have that. So don't feel like you're a failure. Don't, have that confidence, build that up, and just think of all the things you can do instead of all the things that are coming at you, because that was one of your pivotal pieces, was that you stopped thinking that everything was happening to you and they were just happening around you, and you had to adjust and keep moving and figure out how to get past it. Not, and so I tell people all the time, the money issues that you had when you started this, they're not where you are today. So, it is a scary thing. And we tell you there's things that you can invest in and things that you shouldn't invest in. Coaching is something that I can't tell you enough that you need.
Oh, and I'll tell you, I literally spend thousands of dollars a month on coaching myself. literally. But it's worth every dime. It is worth absolutely every dime, because it is what's taken me. And at first, I started with you guys spending and it wasn't quite as much, and it was scary, but I thought, I've got to do this. It was I've told people before, hiring TLGFF was my Hail Mary. I was literally, my choices were, I'm going to file for bankruptcy or hire these ladies. And I just knew, you know what, I'm going to have to file for bankruptcy either way, right? Either way, if this doesn't work, then I might as well give it a shot. So it was literally my Hail Mary to try and stay in business. And it made all the difference in the world. And I'll tell you, I think I love looking at my 2014 tax returns, because I was at a negative $160,000 negative. That means that my husband was spending that money to keep my doors open. And now when I look at it, and I'll tell you, for those of you out there, it happens. When you're going through it, it doesn't feel like it's happening fast, but I can tell you from 2014 till today, when I look, that's not that long, right? And just the absolute transformation in the business and what I've been able to accumulate and save in just that short period of time is amazing. It's amazing how much I've, how much my income has gone. You got to start with that negative, right, to add to my income, and absolutely amazing. And I would have never done it if I had not, if I was too scared to pay the bill to hire a coach, and I couldn't afford it back then. But
and to think about it, honestly, and this is kind of getting off of our quality conversation, but it's just how you had to make these changes going through all these hard times. And I just want everyone to know, we understand those hard times that you have to pivot to get to that quality. So I just think, we were dealing with your previous bookkeeper that was a couple before us, wasn't paying your payroll taxes, wasn't paying all these things. So we had to deal with the state of Nevada. We had to deal with the IRS. We had to deal with all these things that were super scary.
Oh, it was terrifying. It was terrifying.
So, you're making these choices. So my point was that you made that decision during all these times to pivot and become that quality center so you could be who you are today.
Absolutely.
You weren't sitting in this, life is great, I'm going to invest in a coach and I'm going to do that. No, it wasn't like that. And that's kind of what I want these guys to understand.
Well, and you know what my books were back then. If somebody looked at it, you would never thought. I was at a negative $160,000 a year, but I still thought, I'm creating this new bill and I'm hiring these people because this is all I can do. And one of the things, I'm going to pivot back to quality a little bit, because one of the things you just said is really important to quality. So I'm going to pivot over to financial quality, right? Okay. So we went from making my childcare center a quality center, but we also changed the finances quality, right? And one of the things that you mentioned is I had my bookkeeper / accountant wasn't paying my payroll taxes, which I did not know. And I literally did not know until I got a knock on my door from an IRS agent. And the mail was being intercepted and phone calls were being intercepted that I did not know about. And so that is, I think, huge when it comes to quality, and why you guys and what you do is so high quality in your company, because you're not just bookkeepers and accountants who are doing everything and I'm just handing it off to you, relying on you guys have actually educated me to know what I'm looking at now, so that that can't happen to me again. It will absolutely be my fault because I know how to read these reports now. If that ever happens to me again, it's just because I was negligent. But how many people out there are putting themselves in a position where the same thing could happen to you? I thought that stuff was being paid, but instead it was being embezzled.
Yes.
So think about that. And the IRS doesn't care. They don't care if you're paying them or if the money's being embezzled. Ultimately, it is the owner's responsibility. They don't care. And so you guys had to help me dig my way out of that mess and get to where we are today, right? So I'm going to, that being said, how would you define quality in accounting?
Well, I think that, delivering quality accounting services as, we come from a place of caring and education. So we care about our clients and we want to educate our clients, which is kind of different from our industry. Our industry doesn't normally do that. So that's our first thing that we do to stand out from the others. We're always looking for what's next, what's coming next. How can we be ahead of the game and be proactive in how we handle your finances? And every business is different, so we have to always be looking at each business owner individually. And we always adopt, adapt, and implement systems to provide value and results. We always are looking for the results, and we want you to know what the results are going to be. So those are some things that we really pride ourselves in as far as quality goes. And we develop ways of communicating and tracking the progress. So we have our profit first matrix that we've created. We have a cost analysis calculator that we've created, a cash flow calculator. So we have these things that we implement for our business owners so that they can track their progress and see the results that are happening. And that's kind of outside the box for our industry. Most, bookkeepers, accountants just kind of do the work and hand it off, and they don't even have a conversation with you. So we've implemented that coaching side, creating our 12-month action plan, doing all those monthly meetings, making sure that they were training our business owners and educating them on their financials. So I think that we have taken our firm to a higher quality just by doing those, few different things.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you guys are so different. I just think even if we just took the piece alone that you educate your clients, that alone is so different, and you empower us. I mean, it's just, you really do empower us to make sure that we are being good business owners. So I think that, even taking all the rest out, that alone sets you guys out from the rest. So, well, I guess that kind of
answers. Well, and a little bit more on that, we're always identifying pain points on the financial and the operational side of businesses, and we are creating ways to fix them long term. We don't try to find a quick fix. Let's get past this. Let's see, just keep going. We always are trying to come up with a long-term, answer to all of your pain points and all of your issues that you might have on the finances and the operations, because we're trying to make you flow like everything to flow smoothly and be seamless.
Right. Absolutely. So, what else do you have on quality accounting?
So we address many areas of the financial, multiple areas in the finances, finance area of a business. So we're always looking at different things. So we use what's called PIP, Profit Improvement Process. And that's a 12 different areas of your business that we do audits and reviews of financials. And there's accounts payable, accounts receivable, but there's 12 modulars that we go through, and we help business owners on all the different aspects of their business, from budgeting to payroll to human resources to all the different areas that you can think of. So we do have a 12-month program that walks you through each one of those. And we're always looking at fraud prevention, and we're segregation of duties, where we're making sure that not one person is doing everything. Everybody has their own job, so that there's more than one set of eyes looking at your finances. It's not just me, it's not just Christine, it's not just Jeremy. Like we're a team, and we're all here to help you. We're all here to answer your questions. And we just want to make sure that we implement all those things to prevent those fraudulent things from happening. So, you know,
Right.
we really want to provide value and quality to our clients every day.
Yeah, and that is huge. I mean, it's just when I think of how much heartache it would have saved me, right? I mean, you know, there were times where I was literally crying with you guys because it was so devastating to be in the position that I've been in. And so I know what that feels like. So for those of you out there who are thinking and on the fence about working with us, I just can't even stress it enough that it's why I went into the coaching business. It's why I decided to become a childcare business coach, because we just don't have enough of it out there that really focuses on the business end of things and the quality together, like just bringing that childcare quality with the business together to have a really healthy business, because we are a business. We are. And it's so important, if you want to find that success, to really understand the industry and make it the high quality business that it could be, right? And so again, Christina's company and my company have teamed up to bring you guys a package deal where you can work with both of our companies, where I will help you with automating your systems, helping your quality improvement in the childcare center part of things, and really just helping your business run properly, developing those policies and procedures. And Christina's company will work with you to help you to get those finances in order. They'll help educate you on it to get, like, really just take you to the next level financially. And I cannot stress enough to you guys, even those of us who think, you know, they really do get you to the next level when it comes to the finances.
Absolutely. And that's our mission, is we just want, you know, to educate our business owners on the financials so that they can make those confident business decisions that we always talk about. So that
Definitely.
is our mission, is to educate.
So if you're interested, I put the link up yesterday that you can schedule consultations. If the times don't work for you, be sure, just message one of us. We're more than happy. We basically, the times that are available, we coordinated our times together. So if none of those times work, one of us can probably fit you in at a different time slot. Those are just the times that we were able to coordinate. So we would love to chat with you. One of my big beliefs is we want to make sure that you are getting your money's worth. So I like to do consultations and talk with you before I sign any of members up. I want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, that it really is worth your while and your money. I'm very conscientious about that. And so we are opening our doors to our membership, though. I do this once every 6 weeks, where I open my doors and bring new members in. So, you know, join us. We're more than happy to help you get to that next level of I'm getting tongue-tied.
Yeah, I know, I got tongue twisted
right?
too.
That next level of success. And I would love to help other owners get to the point where I've gotten to.
Absolutely. And we're fun to work with. Who doesn't want to work with us? Come on.
Right? Yes, you can ask my members. They will tell you. Any of my they will. Yeah, we are blessed to work with. That's why we work together all the time, because we like working together. So, and again, we do a lot of trainings. Both of us have membership sites that have a lot of pre-recorded trainings. And resources. I was actually doing an orientation with one of my new members earlier today, and I was showing her all the resources. I'm like, wow, I have a lot of resources in there. So I will, with the resources I have, you will be able to create your own policies, procedures. Everything I create is basically given to my members. You'll be able to meet with Christina's team. They help. You'll meet with me once a month, Christina's team. And we do live trainings a couple times a week. Plus we all have office hours, right? So I have office hours, Christine, Jeremy, and you guys will meet Jeremy. We keep talking about Jeremy and never, but we'll meet him on Monday's session. Right. So please, we would love to work with you. Again, the link to book a consultation is on the Facebook page, and or just send us a message if one of those times don't work with you. We'd love to get you in sometime next week to just chat.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
So do you have anything else to add today?
No, I'm just so excited that our cart's open and we're going to get some people in here to work with both of us. I'm excited.
Right. I know. I'm really glad we're teaming up, because I think that just fills that whole circle of just really understanding the finances and the business end of things. It really just,
Right, because we all week long, we have talked about this. You can't run one without the other. If you just
Yes.
work on your finances, your operations are going to fall apart. If you just work on your operations and your finances fall apart, it's something that they need to go hand in hand. You have to work on them at the same time and focus on both sides together to be truly successful.
absolutely. Yes. Well, that's what we have for you today. Tomorrow, be sure to join Christine and I at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be on with a couple of our clients who will tell you the changes we've made for them, who will let you know, like, this is what we've done. This is what it looks like to work with us. They're going to give you some testimonials.
So actually, Christine's going to be on with you tomorrow. I'm not going to be here.
Right. I thought I said Christine. I just,
Oh, you might have, but Christina, I don't know.
I know, I get so confused.
All one and the same. But yeah, so yeah, Christine's going to be on here for some testimonials with you, and I'm excited to hear about it.
I know, me too. Well, everybody have a wonderful evening and a great weekend. And you have a great weekend too, since you get to go have fun. Bye, everybody.
Bye.